Last night was the revival of a historic rivalry between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics. In any iteration of basketball you want to look at, whether it's Jerry West versus Bill Russell, Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson, or if you want to look at Paul Pierce's Celtics versus Kobe's Lakers. And whether you guys like it or not, the Boston Celtics are still the defending champions and they are still the team to beat in the NBA. And this game, like many others this season for the Boston Celtics, you really get to see how hard it is to build a roster to this level of construction and to really see how hard it is to match the level of production this Boston team is willing to give night in and night out. And towards the end of the second quarter to the rest of the game, the Boston Celtics had a real advantage in every second of it. So with no Jackson Hayes available for this game, the Lakers had to resort to a small ball lineup. And you can tell that they wanted to attack Derek White and Al Horford as much as they possibly could, and you saw that as much as you could in these first few possessions. If you watch LeBron get the ball against Derek White with his back to the basket, this leads Jrue Holiday to send help and gets a wide open three for Dorian Finney-Smith. And then they send Austin Reeves in isolation against Al Horford with his speed and ball handling to create rim pressure to kick it out and get the Boston Celtics in rotation, which is going to lead to a kick to LeBron at the top of the key and then an easy slam for Jared Vanderbilt. Now, my question for the Lakers would be, what do you do when you have a team across from you who is just as good, or if not better, at attacking mismatches than you are, and you have more defensive liabilities on the floor with guys like Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves that the Celtics can attack every single possession on the floor? Here you can obviously tell that the plan for this possession is to find who Austin Reeves is guarding and attack him in a switch. And the Lakers have nothing they can do but concede it, because the last thing they want to do is get in rotation and give up an open three to this team. So you live with the fact that Jason Tatum gets a one-on-one versus Austin Reeves because you'd rather give up the two than the three. Now, don't get me wrong. Everything that could have went right for the Lakers in the first quarter went right. They shot 6 of 12 from 3, and majority of their looks were open. And I would say every time Luka Doncic got the ball inside the arc, they were sending two to the ball. So that made a lot of open shots for guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Austin Reeves and Jordan Goodwin. I guess my concern for that would just be, why not help off of Jared Vanderbilt, who is clearly the worst three-point shooter in the starting lineup? Now, I can understand why Jrue Holiday was guarding Vanderbilt and Al Horford wasn't, because if you're going to concede a switch to anyone outside of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown against LeBron and Luka, you would want it to be Al Horford, because you would rather have Al Horford's size versus those two players instead of Jrue Holiday and Derek White, who are clearly just outmatched when it comes to weight and strength against Luka Doncic and LeBron James. But even then, Luka Doncic was creating wide open look after wide open look, and the same can be said about LeBron. And we saw a little bit more of this in the second half, but I truly think Austin Reeves should have been the one attacking the Al Horford mismatch. I truly think out of the three, Austin Reeves can give you the quickest first step every single possession, to where he could have created better looks for himself against Al Horford than the way Luka Doncic and LeBron did. Just because Luka hasn't been 100% since he's been back and hasn't really been putting that pressure on the rim, and LeBron James may not want to really stress the defense as much as he used to, and I think Austin Reeves would have the quicker step to do that every single possession. But the Lakers making 6 threes was perfect for them. But what I think is the biggest difference between the Lakers' first quarter and the Celtics' first quarter is everything was going right for the Lakers. The Lakers were getting the best first quarter they could have possibly gotten against this Celtics team, and the Celtics finished the quarter with a tied game, and the Celtics were still getting a lot of open looks. And I think this is what goes down to what I said earlier about the Celtics being able to attack mismatches better than anyone in the league, and the Lakers having two obvious mismatches in the starting lineup. So even if the Celtics were missing a couple of jumpers, or they got a couple of turnovers, or the Lakers were hitting a lot of shots from 3, we knew the Celtics were going to go on their run and they were going to stop the Lakers from getting all of these open shots. On average, the Boston Celtics give up about 36 threes a game, which would be about 12 less than what they shoot a night. So what would you trust more? The team that can attack mismatches better than anyone in the NBA against the team that has two clear defensive liabilities in a one-on-one setting? on top of them giving up some of the least amount of threes in the NBA today and shooting the most threes in the NBA today. And while the game stayed close in the second quarter, we really started to see the separation between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. And by looking at the box score and just looking at the stats, I'm sure a lot of people would think that Luka Doncic had a really good game, but I would advise you to really go back and watch this game. And I'm not saying Luka Doncic was bad, but this was something that he just could not avoid against the Celtics. And if you look at guys like Lou Dort and Jaylen Brown, those guys have the foot speed and the strength to stay in front of Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic can't just outmuscle them with a lazy crossover and get to the basket or bait them with a step back three. Even in this clip, Luka Doncic is going to try and bait Al Horford with a step back three, but Horford doesn't bite for it at all and contests this really hard three-point shot. And the same thing could be said again here. Luka Doncic trying to bait Al Horford with a step back three. Horford doesn't bite as hard, is able to recover, and he just makes the shot a lot harder. Now let's move on to the third quarter, where Boston outscored the Los Angeles Lakers 29-13. The Celtics basically got anything they wanted, whether it was Jason Tatum just hitting three after three, or Jaylen Brown driving to the rim, or Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown just picking on Luka Doncic. These two guys combined for 71 points, and this is where the game absolutely opened up. In this clip right here, they get the switch on Austin Reeves with Al Horford, and Derek White is going to find an easy lane driving to the rim while Al Horford seals Austin Reeves off. Or this clip, after a missed basket, Al Horford's going to get the rebound and Derek White is going to kick it up to start the possession for the Boston Celtics. Derek White is going to see Luka Doncic guarding Jaylen Brown, gives the ball to him immediately, and Jaylen Brown instantly attacks. Here we're going to see it again. Jrue Holiday is going to set the screen for Jason Tatum, and they get the switch almost effortlessly, while Jason Tatum is just going to drive to the rim and get another really easy basket. And while the Celtics were getting pretty much whatever they wanted on the offensive end, you could also say that this was one of the best defensive quarters from the Boston Celtics this entire season. The way they were rotating on the perimeter and forcing the Lakers to take very uncomfortable long mid-range shots or three-point shots, as the Lakers went 1 for 10 from three in this quarter, 5 for 23 in a total, and 6 turnovers to add on top of that. They were just able to build a lead that the Lakers just could not have come back from. On top of that, the Lakers took a lot of jump shots to start out the third quarter, and I think within their first 10 shot attempts, 9 of them were jump shots. So on top of the Boston Celtics doing a very good job collapsing anytime a Lakers ball handler got a lane to the rim, they also did a really good job at recovering, forcing guys like Austin Reeves to take tough shots, or LeBron James to take tough shots, or Gabe Vincent, or Luka Doncic, or Dorian Finney-Smith. It just wasn't much this Lakers team could do at this point when they were constantly attacking Luka Doncic on the offensive end and making this Lakers team take very, very, very tough shots on the perimeter every single possession. And in my opinion, I think this quarter won the Celtics the game. This dominant stretch of basketball is what won the Boston Celtics this game. So as a Laker fan, I didn't walk into this game with anything new or any different feeling than when I left out of this game, because as the Lakers are still one of the better mismatch attackers in the NBA, the Boston Celtics are just better at that aspect, and the Lakers have more weaknesses that the Celtics can put at the forefront, and that's what Boston has been doing since their championship pedigree has started. And while I do think Luka Doncic could have gotten to the rim a lot better, he still had a good game at best, and losing LeBron in the fourth quarter at making a run was tough as well. But the Boston Celtics probably have the smallest weaknesses in the NBA, and it's going to be very hard to beat this team in a 7-game series. So ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like watching this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I try to upload videos 5 to 6 times a week. This past week, I just took a small break for a few days. Maybe only uploaded about 4 to 5 times last week. This week, we will be back on our regular schedule program. And I thank you guys for watching this video so much. A lot of work goes into these videos. So once again, if you guys would like to like, comment, and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.